Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bomber Banter and welcome to Fiona's forecast. Oh, goodness. We face St Kilda for the first time, which is bonkers because we're at the end of the season and we've faced multiple teams twice. And this is the first time that we're facing St Kilda. So it feels very strange. I've got mixed feelings about where they're at and their season. But to chat it all through, welcome, Solution.
Sorry. I'm looking for a couch question. I was trying to do my homework nice and early.
Oh, yeah. 5 seconds before we start the show, or actually whilst we're actually doing the show. I guess I should be thankful that it's not 1 second before the actual segment. But anyway, how are you?
I'm good. You're looking a bit Janet Jackson.
Am
Which
I?
is a compliment. Yeah, from Rhythm Nation. Remember that song?
Yes.
We are
That's a
a
great
part
song.
of the Rhythm Nation.
That's a great song.
Anyway.
Not how you just did it, but it is a great song.
No.
I've just I woke up feeling a bit congested and a bit throaty, and it is the most glorious spring day in Melbourne today. And so I've been out on a walk and talk with a good friend of mine, and so we've been gas bagging about Essendon and life and things, and clocked up about 13,000 steps. So that's great. Got my caffeine, so I'm feeling much better. And it's funny how everyone's just kinder and in a better mood when the sun is out and when it's a little bit warmer.
It is true. Yeah, no, it's beautiful out there. And I'm very excited this weekend because the Premier League starts.
Oh, okay.
And I can follow a team which is at least competitive, even though they have failed at the final hurdle the last few years. But it's very exciting.
Oh, okay. And how long does the Premier League run for?
Oh, only about 9 months, I think.
Okay.
Give or take.
But that's
Very
good.
long season.
Doesn't that get you to the start of the AFL season?
And beyond, yes. But it does.
Okay.
It goes through about April, I think.
Geez, I should get into that then because I'm already starting. I'm doing the whole Fiona black and white thing where I look too far ahead and I feel the distraughtness of December where I'm missing football so much and probably missing Bomber Banter and the lives and connecting with people.
Yeah.
And so I'm probably going to need something to fill the time given cricket sucks absolute balls, and so I won't be getting into that.
But I do think this season we've got the draft to look forward to. And, Melbourne did the right thing and lost again.
Thank you, doggies.
We need Carlton to win another game, I think.
We do. Yep.
But like to me, that's almost where our season starts.
Yeah, true. And there's going to be a lot to talk about and dissect. And, the players get back. They start pre-season in late November. So, I'll be getting to a lot of pre-season and bringing you a lot of updates and content throughout that period for all of you who can't get down there. So there is that.
And I'm really excited, genuinely, to see what Rose is going to do.
Yes,
I think he's going to get funky with it, and given it's a fairly shallow draft, apparently.
Well, it's funny you say that because on the phone today now in my walk and chat session with this friend, we were saying that we're going to break into Tullamarine and into Matt Rose's office because I just want to have 5 minutes with Matt Rose's whiteboards. I want the 2026, the 2027 and the 2028 whiteboards because I just have this vision that he's got them all lined up. And we joke that on the back of them all, it says, it's blank, but it says Harley Reid, whatever it takes.
I like it, but just be careful you don't injure yourself when going across the concrete-like surface.
Very true. Very true. I mean, look, I don't have to show up for pre-season and get through 23 rounds of football, but willing to do it if I can get a peek at where Rose's head is at. But I did meet him. I don't know if I said this in the podcast. I did meet him when I went down to training a couple of months ago, and he's an exceptionally lovely person. Lovely person.
Really?
Yeah, and stopped and had a chat, and wonderful. I mean, you like to hear these things when it comes to football clubs because notoriously people who work in football clubs and players, I hate to pop the bubble of, hero status for a lot of these players, but, a lot of them aren't what they seem and aren't as kind and open and energetically pure as you'd like to think. And so when you do meet someone who really meets that mark in terms of what you thought they were, it's always a good thing. It means nothing for his ability to trade well for us. But I think that gives him a little tick in my book anyway.
Well, I don't want to slag off the previous guy too much, particularly because I know that he apparently does take notice of what happens in social media and the podcast land, and
this
he's
land.
not. Yes, and he's not adverse, apparently, to reaching out and speaking to content creators when he's not happy with something that's been said. But I just love, and this is by way of contrast, I love the understated nature of Rosa.
Yeah.
I think he's more than happy to be like Homer Simpson in the hedge. I beg your pardon. Where do I get shed from? In the hedge, and just like be in the background and be the quiet achiever. Whereas I think the previous guy, he loved doing the videos. He loved a bit of media. Apparently has 5 or 6 pages in our 150th year anniversary book that was released a couple of years ago. But yes, loving what Rosa is doing and very excited to see what comes. So, really for me, that's when the season starts.
Yeah, good point. It's nice to have something to look forward to when the season ends, because usually you're a little depressed that, yet again, we're not there in September, but at least, when the finals are on, we'll be enjoying the finals, but also looking at which players we're tied to, which draft bolters, which kids are bolting up that ladder, the draft ladder. So, there's definitely excitement there, which is great.
And look, to be, again, this new positive arc of mine, even I'm struggling with it, let alone other
it's
people.
It's going against all fibres of your familiarity, isn't it?
It is weird. It is weird. But to me, 2026 has already started.
Yeah.
Like we right now are, it's almost like an extended boot camp where we spoke about the Hunger Games last week. We're finding out who's going to be on the list next year, which of these young kids and which of these mid-season draftees is going to make the cut. And if we can just fix that sports science medical component, I don't know. I'm feeling bullish about next year already.
Yeah, me too.
God, what's wrong with me?
But I will say, and I spoke about it again this morning, it's such a fundamental part that holds the key to the future success of this club. If we cannot get that right, and for example, let's hypothetically say we hold on to Langford, Parrish, Ridley, if we cannot get that right next year, that is another wasted year. It actually brings up more questions than answers, because I have no doubt that they're ticking absolutely everything off. Apparently, I'm told that testing was done at the hangar on the surface, actual physical, like arborist testing. And
really?
Yep.
Okay.
And apparently it passed all the tests. So I don't have the specifics of that test, but I would imagine that the tests compare to other fields, and those people doing the tests compared it with another type of solid foundation that other athletes train on to make sure it was hitting the markers, and apparently it's come up fine. So my point is, I have confidence that the club are trying everything to nail it, and now this last piece is getting the right person involved, getting the right department. It's not necessarily just the head fitness boss, it's getting a group of doctors and specialists working under them that are also hitting that mark. And because if we can't get that right, I don't know what's left to actually question when it comes to our conditioning and our these players. The only thing left would be the players themselves, and I don't want to believe it, because if I have to watch a player, and I know Joe Danaher is he's a different case, because he didn't apply himself to his rehab at Essendon, and then he went elsewhere and didn't miss a game through injury, or many anyway. But the word was he didn't apply himself to his rehab. So I would hate for Parrish to go to Geelong, for Langford to go to the Dogs, and then not have an injury. That would destroy me. So I don't want to believe it's the players themselves. I want to believe that it's just it's a regimented system that needs to be fixed, and also the players just getting used to a higher load, and next year they'll come good. So that's where
And,
I see it.
maybe, yeah, look, I agree with you. Maybe a little bit of ray of hope is that we've discussed the soft tissue injuries haven't been the new players generally. So these could be legacy issues from previous mismanagement.
Yeah, but then I don't want to see Parish go and excel and have a very long, uninterrupted year at Geelong, as I just said, if that is the case. Because then
No.
then I'll really jump ship to soccer, whatever you bloody people call it, football. Anyway.
Yes. Anyway, once again, changes. Is there a point?
I think they're pretty well. I've just noticed that it's again the curse of the thumbnail.
Yeah. I did laugh that there were a number of headlines that said Zach Merritt to miss his 250th.
Yeah, he's 250. How can he miss it if he's not there?
Oh no, it's happening. They've done the banner. His 250th will go up. He just won't be there.
But don't you think the universe is conspiring? Don't you think the universe is conspiring for the 250th to happen against Carlton at the MCG and for us to get our first our last win after 11 consecutive losses? Don't you think all on Zach Merritt's 250th? Like, I just feel if that happens, can I just tell you this? If that happens, this is a PSA. If that happens, fan cams ain't starting till midnight that night, because I will be at that game at the MCG, and it's going to take me a while to get home as it is. And if we win, there will be a drink had with friends at least afterwards. So fan cams will be at midnight, definitely.
Why not just, can the mountain go to Muhammad? Can the fan cams just come to the pub?
Yeah, it can. However, I probably need a strong Wi-Fi signal, and I don't think that's going to be too good with Vodafone that I'm with. But no. I just feel like the universe is conspiring for that to happen, given that he's going to miss this week. I also love that my big ginger gets to celebrate his 150th by himself this week. But in terms of the changes solution, Dylan Shield is out. Zach Merritt is out. Archer May is probably out. So to me, that's just going to...
Point of order, Dylan Shield's not out yet. He's going to the tribunal. He may be found not guilty.
But don't you think they'll just make an example of him for this rule?
Yeah, I said it on our podcast. I think he's a bit unlucky. I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to slip his man, give his man a little push to get the ball over the back. I don't think he had any intention. Clearly, didn't have an intention of, seeing Lawal nearly die.
Well, he didn't care about it either, which is the worst part of this. There was no intention.
Yeah, so you picked this up. You picked this up, I saw on social media, or Twitter, I should say.
This is my realm.
Did he run off to go to the next contest, or is he got any excuse?
No, he spent his energy arguing with the umpire.
Oh, okay.
Well, at his feet, Lawal was on all four, and I did like how somebody on Twitter tried to tell me that he had no idea how much injury he'd caused Lawal. And I said I couldn't give a flying fuck if Lawal had a paper cut or he had a sniffle down there. If a player, and a Bebe player at that, is on the ground on all fours at your feet, the least you can fucking do is put a hand on his back. So that's disgusting. That is disgusting areas. And as I said on Twitter, culture is built in those small moments. And that sums Dylan Shield up himself in one moment. And I hated every fucking second of it, and he should be ashamed of himself. And I honestly, I don't even care. I don't think he should get suspended. I think it was dumb, but he definitely had no intention to harm. I mean, let's be honest. He was trying to run his opponent under the ball a little bit, but not to, it's probably a bit unreasonable for him to anticipate Lawal flying through the air, simultaneously. But just for that act alone, I mean, it would have been bad if it was Sam Durham or Todd Goldstein that he didn't check on. But it was your teammate who's played 6 games.
Yeah. I did write a song about Dylan Shield called The Greatest Love of All.
I mean, I'm surprised we didn't hear it playing at that moment, because I did not appreciate it one bit, and I don't like it, and I think that's culture in a moment. And if you're teaching young kids at Auskick or in their infancy, in their under 12s about culture, it's about always being there for your mates no matter what. I don't care if you agree with it, if you think they're sooking, if you think that they started a beef, you always stand up for your teammates on the field no matter fucking what.
I agree, and I think it's a great call from you.
Anyway.
Sorry, I cut you in your tracks. Well, so we got some players to replace. Do we have anybody left?
Well, I just think it's going to take a bit of shuffling around. So Perkins and Hobbs will move into the midfield. Gresham perhaps will get even more time, which I think he's been actually doing pretty well in there. Kako will obviously stay in there. And then I think you bring in Alwyn Davey to replace Perkins up forward. I think you possibly could bring in, if you want to drop Jai Menzies, I would do that for Davey anyway. But I would also just bring back Oscar Smart to fill that other forward role. Mm-hmm. And then you could also bring in Johnson and play him forward or wing, because I don't think that would be an awful thing either. And Vigo was rested from the VFL. So okay. I believe that he'll replace Todd Goldstein, which is great. So the club are managing him beautifully. Few VFL stints in between playing, and then a rest week, and then coming in for Goldie. So I think that's wonderful. And he'll get a new matchup. He'll play on Marshall and get another new look into another pretty good ruckman and another system, and get some more learnings and some more lessons from that. And then Archer May, I think we just go in a bit smaller, to be honest. Or maybe they bring in Vigo and keep Goldstein, given that it all goes down. Who knows?
Here's a question for you.
Mm.
There's a world where Davey comes in, kicks 3 goals, looks good, then does it the week after, then does it the week after. Does he get a contract?
Oh, geez, he'd make the coaches look very stupid if that happened, wouldn't he?
Yes.
I watched the VFL for a half, and I liked what he did. And I said in one of the group chats I have going on, I said, is it just me or is Davey doing really well? And the response that came back, that put me back in my place, was, yeah, but this is what he does. He has a few wonderful moments, but then he's generally just vanilla. And at this point of his tenure, 3, 4, 5 years in, 4? I think it's his 4th year, he should be dominating VFL. So that was the response, and I kind of just went back into the hedges like Homer, and I was like, okay, that's probably a fair call. That's probably a fair call. But there's a world where that happens.
Okay. And also one other point of order I need to say is Kako played in the middle. Was fantastic.
Brilliant.
Now I've brought this up multiple times on our group chat and whatnot. I did say on the forecast about 6 weeks ago, I like the way Kako moves. He seems to come around a fair bit. Does he have any future in the middle? And you said no.
Did I? I don't think I poo-pooed that one. I think I poo-pooed your pies. No, I definitely know I poo-pooed your pies call, and that was a great call by you. I didn't think they were wobbling, and you did. But I don't think I said no to Kako in the middle, because that's delicious. If you want to win this, you go back and you send me where I said it, and then I'll make a formal apology.
If I could be bothered, I would, but I can't.
Well then, I'm saying I didn't.
He looked good though. He looked good.
Was brilliant. He looked like he played there for 50 games already.
Yep.
And
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you go.
No, you go.
At that level, so many young players come through and they've got talent, which you're trying to work out, does this translate or doesn't it? I don't know what recruiters or player development people would say about this, but I would imagine a large part of whether a player makes it or not, firstly, whether he has a sustainable career, because we know most draftees don't, and then whether he goes on actually becomes a really good player / great player, would depend on what's above the shoulders, on how they apply themselves, how they learn, how professional they are,
how they recover.
How they recover. I get a sense that Kako has an elite mentality, a kind of Zach Merritt type mentality, and I think we're seeing this in his first season. It really, really warms my heart, and I think we're going to look back and say, "Oh wow, I can't believe we got this guy when we did." And thank God for the mechanism that allowed us to do that, because we're going to look back and say, okay, yeah, he was a top 10 player easily.
You know what he's got? He's a sponge. His mind and his soul is a sponge. So whilst he doesn't organically have that elite mentality, the second he walked into the club, they've been filtering him that elite lifestyle and that elite mentality and that eliteness that required to be great. And he just soaks it all in. There's no pretense about him. He doesn't care. He's not focused on the egoic nature of being an AFL footballer. He's focused on the fun, the energy, the being that closeness with your teammates. He's focused on achieving a unity with your teammates, achieving success with your teammates. And he's really just a sponge to whatever Brad Scott and the coaches ask of him and the leaders at the club ask of him. He really will. Not that you expect young kids to bite back but he just doesn't buy or kind of, and it's a testament to his upbringing and how, and the values his parents have instilled, the values that his parents have instilled in him, because he's certainly a hard worker, but he's a sponge. And what better kind of player than to have someone who just soaks in all of the goodness and takes it and also believes, he's taking up space like a man and believes he has a spot here and he's not going to let anyone take his spot,
No, I love it. All right, so nothing else on the changes?
No, I think it'll be a bit of a reshuffling, but probably 3 changes, forced changes, yeah.
I'd love to see V go again. So I hope you're right.
Yep.
Now, Smoking Joe and Sitting Joe, do you recall who you had for the Sitting Joe last week?
I think I said McMahon, didn't I?
I think you did.
And that was a shocking call.
Wrong. Which we're always happy when we're wrong, of course, on that one.
Of course. Yeah.
And I had Laverde as a Smoking Joe, and I'm going to say he smoked. This is what I'll say about him. Smoking's probably a bit over the top, but I'm going to look back on his career a lot more fondly because of the way he's approached his last season, what I presume is his last season, than I would have otherwise. And you'll recall, and I think it was rumour kind of verified that at one point he wasn't happy. Wasn't happy being in the twos, and I got the sense that he was a little bit entitled. He's erased all of that for me. The way he's applied himself against really, he's got the hardest job in the team, really. An undersized defender playing against the monsters. The way he's done it, full credit to him.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's definitely won back some naysayers. He's definitely didn't smoke. He's definitely got a hard job. But I did say when he came back in for his first game, when all our players over 200 metres went down, I did say that he cannot be judged. And I did judge him for the game where he fell back into those habits. I think it was, which game was it again? Was it again the GW? Ago. Was it the Gold Coast Suns game?
I think you're right.
He just had we saw the old Laverde, the brain fades, the giving away silly free kicks when you've already got so much going against you. You cannot be giving away stupid free kicks because they got in his head. Anyway, we've only seen that probably 2 out of the 10 games that he's played, only twice out of the 10 games he's played. So he's certainly, I have utmost respect for how he's held himself and carried himself. And I think he's battled manfully. And I think he's done the best he can possibly in his ability. He was always a hard worker. I was never going to question that. But he's probably got himself a lot more focused and a lot more settled, and probably shown a lot more leadership that I gave him credit for. So well done, Jaden. Definitely changed some perceptions that I had of him. And I think that's what you want to do. You want to, if what I always said this about Dylan Shield, what legacy do you want to leave? I said this exact thing about Dylan Shield at the start of this fucking year. If you're going to leave this game without a premiership medal, then leave it knowing that you're like mentoring the next group of kids. Well, how do you think Lawal's going to remember you after watching that vision? How do you think he's going to remember you? Whereas Laverty, the likes of Roberts, the likes of Blackiston, they're going to have the utmost respect and memories for, and Johnson for Laverty, helping them through tough times.
Agreed. So you've got the smoking Joe.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I'm just going to give it to Kako. I think he's going to be brilliant again. He's going to have to play in the centre, and he'll probably get another 20-plus centre bounces, and I think that's absolutely friggin' wonderful, and I can't bloody wait to watch it in the flesh because I'll be there Friday night, so I think I'm giving it to him.
Love it. Love it.
Who are you going?
That was a big sigh. I'm not... I don't want to give it to this person.
You're throwing under the bus.
It's actually what I believe. Of course, I hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, I think it might be Vigo.
Oh, that's so easy that you did that. You went for the low-hanging fruit.
I could have gone for Lawal, who had 3 possessions in his time last week. I could have gone for Menzies, who had 2, I think it was.
Yeah,
with a 0%.
You picked the sub and the one who was subbed. That's easy too. That's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, possibly. But that's what I think will happen.
Okay. All right. I think he might have a Fremantle game. I think he might lose the tap-outs convincingly, but I reckon he'll do a lot of good other stuff. I reckon he might athletically overawe Marshall. Because Marshall's athletic, but he's not a Luke Jackson. So I think he might. I think he might. And he's not. Marshall's not exactly Briggs either. So he's not also going to monster him. He's big, but he's not Briggs.
I hope you're right. I really, really can't get the image out of my head of some of the great stuff that Vigo did in that first game. So yeah,
agreed.
I hope we see it. So I guess on the back of a competitive, honourable loss against Geelong, you could make an argument. I mean, St Kilda are a pretty average team.
Are they? Gosh, they're interesting this year. Like, beating Geelong, they've had some really good wins, and then they've had some really poor losses to teams that they shouldn't be losing to. And then I watched that game on the weekend. They almost lost to Richmond. Like, very bizarre. That's right.
And I was barracking for Richmond. I was very disappointed.
Yeah, they didn't come through for us, did they? Unfortunately.
No. But I don't think. I'll stand by what I said. I don't think they're a great side. So some might mount an argument, or some might be going along with some hope. Are they being delusional, Fiona?
No, I think there's hope, and I'd really, really be exceptionally disappointed if we didn't have that same kind of honourable loss energy type out of this game. Because if we don't see what we brought in the third quarter and the fourth quarter against Geelong, I'll be really upset. Because we've shown we can do it, and we've shown what we can turn up, and I'd be really upset if we didn't bring that this week for a home game against the Saints. As we know, St Kilda they suffocate you defensively, and they really play. I think that their average score has been 70 for the year, and that is just so Ross line. I mean, we can't score because we can't even get it into the forward line for more than 3 seconds at a time. But they don't score because they like to suffocate you defensively. So, and the way I think for us this week above all weeks, it's so important to lock it in our 50, because if you deny them rebound, they've got very, very little else. If you force their run and gun players in Nazaya, Wanganeen Milera and Sinclair to actually defend one-on-one, it's actually pretty poor from them. They like to get the ball and go out of their D50. That's where they excel. But if you lock it in and you keep getting repeat stoppages and repeat ball ups, you force those run and gun players to defend one-on-one, and that's not where they shine. So I just think that if we are really hard at the contest and hard where, at the coalface and win and our stoppage work has been really, really good in the past 10 weeks or so, I would say. It's everything else. It's that connection and that last piece of the puzzle inside 50. It's the getting space inside 50. But if we're going to bomb it, that ball has to come to ground no matter what. And then it's just going to be pressure. And what I did like against the Cats, and this is from the get-go, when we did bomb it, for once I saw the right number of players at the fall of the ball. I saw an out number at the fall of the ball of Essendon players, and they were all in the right position. So if we can do that, I reckon we'll really challenge the Saints. We really, really will challenge them.
Okay.
They got their own issues going inside, that connectivity piece going inside forward 50. But what they do really well and really quickly, and they set up their zone quick through Nazaya and Sinclair, they bullet out of 50. So this week it's going to be really important to, usually I would say to pick up the pace, but I reckon this week some slow composed football will really disrupt St Kilda's intent and the way they like to play footy.
That's hopeful. So when you were talking about smart forward entries, is kind of what you're indicating. Did that include when we kept kicking to Guelphy?
That was like Guelphy has the baton has been passed from Waller to Guelphy. Is that what it felt like? That's kind of what it felt like to me.
To me, it felt like we thought it was. We saw the blonde hair and thought, James Hird is back at centre half forward in 1996. Let's kick to him.
It's funny because I always thought, as much as Guelphy is limited, he, it's going to be important for him. He's going to have the job on one of them. He's going to have to, at stoppage, if we get those repeat, ball ups in our forward 50, he's going to have to sit on one of Sinclair or Nazaya and make sure they don't get that ball and are out of there. But Guelphy, as much as he's limited, he actually has a pretty good sense for football. He has a pretty good football IQ and makes really good decisions a lot of the time. So it's just funny that he's in the right position and he's got space, so much so that we actually think that he can take a contested mark in the air.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see too much of it. So what are you predicting?
I'm going to predict a loss of 26 points.
Yeah. I'd like to win.
I hope Ginger kicks truly and has his kicking routine on point for his 150th.
He did snag one, so
an easy one.
Maybe, yeah.
He's left a lot out there the last 6 weeks or so. He's doing everything else right. Everything else, he's worked below his knees. His second impact attempts. I've watched this game multiple times now, and I watch him closely. And his second efforts have been nothing short of perfection. But he's almost erasing all that good work, missing goals that he needs to as a leader down there. So, if he just tidies that up, works on why he's all of a sudden, as you say, leaning back and going crooked. I've seen him actually, his leg is pointing in the wrong direction.
I'm right, aren't I? There's no word of a lie. Like that's what
because he's
doing.
leaning back. He's leaning back, and he hasn't got symmetry in his hips. So his kicking foot with the lean back is compensating, and it's going in the wrong direction.
I was watching old footage of 90s football and watching Tony Lockett. You want to study in good kicking for goal. Matthew Lloyd was another one, of course. Just same routine every time, head over the ball, running straight. It seems to be a lost art.
Well, Liam McMahon has it until we
he does.
It out of him. Until he catches the disease. Because we used to say this about Peter Wright, that he was just so incredibly reliable. And I still believe in him. I still think in him. Just knowing his work rate, I just think this will be eating him as much as it eats us, that he's missing, because he looks genuinely upset when he misses, because he knows he should, and he takes it very seriously, his role in the team and his leadership now. And so I think he'll be doing everything he can to put it right.
Mm. What's the salary cap rules? Sorry, what's the salary cap rules around? I would sack Essendon's goal kicking coach, and I would give McMahon a second job. So you're a player. B, you're also our goal kicking coach.
Yeah,
because I'd rather him teaching players than whoever it was beforehand.
Yeah, I don't think there is a designated goal kicking coach. It's just the forwards practice goal kicking.
Maybe that's part of the problem.
Possibly. I mean, yeah, you'd hope. Like, I just know he'll be working on it. Put it that way.
For me,
what do you think? Mm.
Yeah, I think with Merritt out, that's kind of, even though he hasn't been his himself this season, as we know.
Yeah.
And even though he's turned the ball over and all those sorts of things, just those sheer numbers that he gets, the clearances, possessions, everything else, it's a blow. And he is a leader as well. He has blossomed into being a good captain, I think, from a leadership perspective. So we'll miss him. And the kids are looking tired. Kako aside, I can see them running off with like 37 points or something, kicking away sort of in the last quarter. I don't like Ross Lyon at all. Loved him as a player. Don't like him as a coach or even necessarily a person. I'd love to think we could win, but an honourable loss is kind of what we need anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you're offering me Carlton or Richmond, Carlton for Zacky's 250th, I'm taking that every day of the week.
Yeah, true.
Because I think this group deserves a win. This group deserves a win. Just, they've worked hard. They've put their head down. It would have been so fucking easy to just end the season like the rest of the seasons and just, go off into the sunset with 90-point losses. But they've dug deep and they've refused to go down without a fight. And they're fighting and they're trying and they're doing the best that they can. And they deserve some reward for all that. And they deserve to see the light at the end of this tunnel that we're in, because they know it consciously, but subconsciously those losses and walking down the race with your head down, hearing the opposition song, it's, it would seep into their subconsciousness, and the corresponding feelings would be seeping into their souls. So I think a little bit of good medicine would do the group well. And hopefully, if the universe is going to be kind to us, it won't impact our draft position.
I think if Carlton win this week, they play Port. Is that right?
They do at Marvel. Yeah.
So let's hope Carlton win.
They can too. They can
and
win.
Then I think next week it won't actually matter.
Great. Again.
Melbourne and Essendon might alternate, for example, but I think we'll probably finish 4th and 5th last, respectively.
Yep. Wonderful. Yep. Happy.
All right. Should we go to a couch question?
All right. Let's finish off.
I have them here.
Oh, what a change of pace. What a refreshing change of pace.
Okay. I can't disagree. Here we go. Good guys come last. Prove me wrong. Good guys come last. Prove me wrong. Can I say something first? I'll prove you wrong. I'm a prick, and I come last. There you go.
No, I mean, why isn't there a good girls come last? Why isn't there that? Why isn't there a saying about that?
We could discuss that next.
All right, fine. I mean, I would change that up and say anybody living in their truth and anybody doing the work on themselves get put into that good guys pile, because it's even, and I draw it back to right back to high school. You know, high school is awful for anybody who's even remotely different or special or living their truth or taking up space. It's awful because you got a heap of hormonal kids who are all trying to live up to society standards, probably raised by 80%, who I call them 80%ers, who never do any work on themselves and are living, just a very ordinary vanilla life. And then you've got these, outliers who are questioning that way of living and saying, no, I think I deserve more and I'm worthy of more and I want to take up space. But that means that I'm not agreeing with the popular kids and the cool kids but I also don't fit in here. So I would say the good guys are the people who don't fit in. And I think that's wonderful. And I think that's beautiful. I never fit in anywhere. I've gone my whole life feeling like I don't belong anywhere until I found football and until I found a community who I felt accepted in, because there were people like me who refused to be pigeonholed in and molded into something that's not even that great and that's so vanilla in my eyes. So I think the good guys label is just someone who's courageous enough. Change that to why, courage and bravery to be who you are come last. And maybe that is the case when you're in high school, because society wins out and the majority rules in high school. But outside of that, when you leave high school, you get to pick and choose where you belong, and you get to stand in your truth and choose to say no to cliques and no to places that you don't want to go and no to clubbing if that's not your scene. In high school, you feel pressured to fit in, but the good guys come last. That's not a thing. It's a myth. It's a myth. Good guys, by that, I think you mean you're respectful, you're honest, communicative, have good values. That's coming last as a good guy. I say yes, good. Come last. Come last for as long as you can until you're ready to step into your truth and find your people and find the people whose weird matches your weird, and until you find the place where you belong. And then you won't be coming last. You'll be coming first in every way, because you'll be surrounded by people who are of the same ilk as you.
It's interesting. I mean, it's almost pointless me talking about this topic because, yeah, we were talking about it the other day, I think, on our podcast from a couple of weeks ago. The 90s were very different, which is back when I was on the dating scene. But isn't there an element of, or a cohort of, and I assume this is referencing heterosexual relationships here.
Yep.
Is there a cohort of girls / women who do like a quote unquote bad boy?
Did you say
Or is that a myth?
a bad boy?
Or like, or attracted to, or find attractive?
Yeah, because of course there is, because those girls have been brought up to, attract people who represent how they feel about themselves inside. So attracting a good guy is going to show them that they're worthy and they are kind and good. But at that moment of their evolution, they don't believe they deserve that. And so they're going to attract a guy who treats them like shit and is shit and doesn't believe it of himself. So can't convince her that she's good too. So essentially those guys are mirroring how she feels about herself inside. So until she does that work and discovers that that's what's happening, she's never going to pick the guy who's standing in his truth and being who he is, because that's death to her internal story at that point in time. So when you work out what's actually happening, you're realizing that the bad boys are not getting the girls. They're just attracting the girl because she feels so bad about herself. And is that the kind of girl you want? Is that you being with a girl like that at that point in time where she doesn't believe she's worthy of you? She's going to cheat on you. She's going to take you for granted. She's not going to see you for you. She's going to do everything to sabotage it. So you don't want that girl at that point in time.
So the take-home message is, be who you are and you'll find someone who likes you.
That's right. Don't make yourself small because you think you're the good guy, or don't become the bad guy because you think good guys come last. That's not how it works.
And
Those,
whatever you,
those,
no, I agree. But whatever you do, don't don't follow those like Andrew Tate type accounts or influencers or whatever who try and give you tips about how to be a prick and control women.
yeah,
They
stay
are
away, stay away from those accounts and
mm,
beliefs, because there's one thing that women want, and it's not a man. It's not a man who thinks that she belongs in the kitchen and she's enough when she's too much, but also simultaneously not enough. And that's what all those
yeah.
men believe. So,
Or in his case, sex trafficker. They don't want it
yeah,
either.
exactly. Yeah, so women are only good for one thing, and that's their bodies and how they look and what they can do for men. That's why we live. Essentially, that's why we exist. That's what he believes. Women exist and I think he said it. He said something of that ilk when he did that interview with Bonnie Blue, that women exist to be at the feet of men and to reproduce and do what men say. And
I didn't
he's
see
not.
that interview. That must have been a real meeting of the minds.
Let me just clarify. I did not watch the interview. I watched the grabs on Twitter that were infiltrating my fucking algorithm. Thank you, Elon
Okay.
Musk. So I just, I just, it's the most. It gives me chills. It honestly gives me chills about toxic masculinity and that backyard conversation that happens with men who believe that women are just enough to coexist in a world where their place is not to reach heights and not to excel, is just to serve and never be served. Sad.
Hmm.
It's sad that it
Geez.
still exists. It makes me really sad that there are still men raising daughters that way and raising sons that way, because they're the future husbands. They're going to grow up believing that that's what women are for. And as much as a lot of people think feminism is taken too far, I think it can be, yes, but ultimately, at the end of the fucking day, the only thing that feminists want is to not be seen as a fucking body, is to not be seen as just someone who belongs in the kitchen and she has a place, but only when she's quiet and obedient and, is serving a man. That's all they want at the end of the day. The rest of it
True.
is just bells and whistles.
And to be fair to Bonnie Blue, she doesn't spend a lot of time in the kitchen. It's more in the bedroom. But
Yes, that one spends way too. That's taking. Yeah, that's that kind of feminism I don't agree with, because that's doing its own. They're claiming, she claims sex positivity and body positivity, and I would say that that's not tiptoeing. I say that that's catapulting over the line and
I
doing
think she's
harm.
several hundred kilometres over the line.
Yes, agreed. Completely agreed. Completely agreed. I think
You know the
they're
worst
doing more damage.
the worst part now is under this YouTube video, it's going to say people mentioned.
Oh no. I
It's
may
going to
have
have.
to. I may have to. Oh my god, we've mentioned Tate, Musk, Bonnie Blue. Oh no, this
You
algorithm.
probably get
No one's going to watch this video.
no. You'll probably get thousands more
Oh
very disappointed listeners.
my god, the comments on this video are going to be coming at me. The misogynist I'm going to have on this video telling me to get back in the kitchen. Which coincidentally, after this, we stream this video, I do have to actually go to the kitchen and bake. But that is not who I am.
No, no, and bomber banter fans would never do that, nor would
No, I will
Ringtime
say.
podcast listeners.
I will say
They're
the
an
community
intelligent
here.
bunch.
Absolutely. The community here is magnificent and beautiful and wholesome. And I mean, I know it's small right now, but it feels large to me. And it feels large, full of incredible, incredible humans who I will hold space for forever. So thank you to everyone who supported the channel. And thank you to you, Solution, for the forecast this week.
No worries, Fiona. Thank you.
I'll talk to you during the week, and I'll see you during the week, I'm sure.
Go Bombers.
Catcha. Well, that's another forecast done. Oh my goodness, it's the third last. I won't say penultimate, because we still have a fucking Gold Coast game that's paled into insignificance, but might not be for them actually. It could could have some ramifications for them. So we might be able to do some damage. But anyway, that's skipping ahead. Thank you very much, as I just said, to everybody for the support. I will see you all Thursday night for the team show as we go live for discussing all the changes, and I think there will be some. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you very soon.